Now this is going to be an unconventional way for you to get a lot of lag. We're going to talk about how to throw the club this way and rotate your body that way, and how this matchup creates a crazy amount of lag in the downswing, and you can get a whole lot of speed. Let's go ahead and give it a whirl, and I'll show you how to do it. There we go, nice and solid. Nice little tight draw, pitching wedge, 150 yards. Not going to do a whole lot better than that. You also noted the vertical launch on that was 22 degrees, which basically is really low. So that's coming out low and penetrating for a pitching wedge, which means I had good shaft lean and a lot of lag as I'm coming through there. Now, we're going to get to this unconventional way of doing it. And this is a great video if you've been struggling for lag and you really want to come at it from a different way to kind of open your eyes up to what's actually going on. You see, when we're doing lag, when we have a lot of lag, what's going on is we're pulling the club down or we're moving the club down in the downswing, but we're not stalling our body and casting the club to get to impact. So what's happening is we're moving the club with some speed, but at the same time I'm rotating my body, and as I add this rotation to it, I get some lag. And I like to call this the throw and turn drill. And what we can do here is naturally, when you feel like you're throwing the club this way, you realize I have to rotate open or there's no way that's going to work. Let's start with the first step. I like to imagine the target line being like this. If I had a club on the ground toward the target, I first want you to feel like you turn this way, and just like you're going to chop with an axe, I'm going to try to chop down on the ground just like this in line with my target. Now in reality, we want in a golf swing to shallow this club out, come more from the inside. So I want you to feel like you're chopping more from the inside. So almost like there's a piece of wood facing this direction, and I'm going to take this club and chop it this way. So I'm really trying to throw this club. If I'm looking at it from face on, I may feel like I'm casting a little bit. There's this up and down type wrist action happening, and I may feel like I'm actually throwing or casting slightly. And I know for sure that if I do this motion, as you start to do that, well, that's a long way away from this golf ball. The only way to get to the golf ball is to rotate your body open as you're doing that. And it's one of those drills to where intuitively you force yourself to rotate open, and it gets a whole bunch of lag. So do a few chopping motions, first down this way, then turn it even more to the inside. And then from there, just rotate open as you're coming through it, and that'll keep you from casting it too early, believe it or not. There we go. I mean, just hammer that ball. The one thing I like about this too is I feel like I can, as long as I'm chopping from the inside, I can just throw that thing as hard as I want to, and it's guaranteed to draw back like that. So again, 159, went at that one pretty hard. With a pitching wedge, I'm not going to do any better than that. And again, the vertical launch, or how high the ball took off, was only 23 degrees. Now, there's one other thing that I think happens here that's really beneficial, is so many times people get tight and try to hold on to that lag and hold it, and never release it. Well, you have to release lag at some point, and it's one of the 5 fundamentals that we talk about in the Top Speed Golf System, the real fundamentals, is that I'm going to have lag when I'm in my downswing, but then I have to release that lag out in front of the golf ball and get rid of all that. You see, if I was at this point of the swing and I still had my full lag, it would look something like that. Well, that's not going to work at all. I have to let that go on out in front. So that letting it go is very much this chopping type motion. And when you add with it the turn, that's what puts the two pieces together. So if you've struggled for a long time, what's happening is you're stopping your hips. You're feeling like you're holding on, and then all of a sudden you get to here, you can't reach the golf ball. You have to kind of throw to be able to reach it. So you're actually standing up out of your posture. All right, so there's still another piece to this. You see, if you start your downswing the wrong way and you're feeling like you're pretty steep here, that's going to force you to stand up out of your posture. And when you do that, there's simply no way to have lag and still be able to reach this golf ball. I have to cast out just to be able to reach to the golf ball, and nothing that we just talked about here is going to work at all. So I want to solve this for you. I'm going to play a preview of a video that's going to show you the right way to start your downswing so that you stay in your posture and stop standing out of it. And all you need to do to see that full video is go ahead and click the card that pops up on your screen. If you don't see one of those cards up there, don't worry. Just go down to the link below in the description. Both of those will get you instant access to this video. So best of luck. I'm going to show you how to stay in your posture, and that's really crucial. We have to stay in our posture to be able to rotate and do all the great things that we talked about in this video. I can't wait to share with you the secret of doing that. next. Let's go and get started. Now the bottom line is that by trying to ring that bell or pull the hands down more from the inside, it gets the club shaft steep and runs your entire downswing. Now what you end up having to do is to keep from just keeping down on that steep angle and burying the club behind the golf ball, you have to stand up out of your posture, and that's really the root cause of all your problems. Now maybe you're being outdriven way too often, or you're terribly inconsistent with your strikes. Some of your shots are heavy, some of them are thin, some of them are off the toe, and then the next ones are way off the heel. Now you end up way over in the trees, you're in the tall grass, or maybe even the hazards all day long, and it really comes down to this. Clay, how in the heck do we fix it? Well, there's some good news. Well, there's only two things that you need to learn. First, you need to learn to shallow the club rather than pulling the hands down and getting the shaft in this steep position. You see, there's another way that the pros do this, and once you start to get that club on this shallower plane, more from the inside, then you pair that up with the right way to square the club face. And once you put these two things together, everything starts to fit in your swing. Now your buddies will start to get a little bit jealous because you'll start hitting solid, longer drives, time after time, and round after round. Now I'm going to teach you this right now in what I call the E-slot technique. Let's walk through exactly how to do it. So here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and take a swing to the top and get in a really good position. I want you to feel like your weight is mostly shifted to your right side and that your hips and shoulders are nice and free. I don't want to be locked up here. I want my knees to move, my hips to move. And that's going to allow me to swing my shoulders very nicely. Now, one thing that most people get wrong when they swing to the top is they don't get this tilt away from the target. So instead of being straight up and down or leaning to the left, I want to be slightly tilted away in what I call the stable fluid spine in my top speed golf system. Okay, so now that you're at this great position at the top of the swing, what I want you to do is instead of pulling those arms straight down or ringing the bell, that's going to get the club shaft steep and get this elbow kind of flapping behind your body. I want you to do something very specific. I want you to take the tip of your elbow and move it in a specific way. Now, not this small bone on the inside of your elbow, but I want it to be right here at the tip, and here's what I want you to do.